What's up, y'all? We're in my yard. I'm sitting in front of this. I'm pretty sure that this is a beech tree. And the reason that I think it's a beech tree is because every single time that I see a tree and I can't identify it, you know, it's not a quaking aspen, it's definitely not a pine tree, it's not oak either, it's probably a beech tree. That's usually how I figure that one out. It also might not be a beech tree, so actually, now that the wind is blowing, this is most certainly a quaking aspen tree. You can tell because look at how it quakes in the wind. And the leaves are like a teardrop shape. I can't believe that I thought it was a beech tree. That's so silly. Quaking aspen is one of my favorite trees. I can't believe that I just misidentified it. That would be like calling my mom a man. The fuck? I'm pretty sure that the tree sitting across from me is a beech tree, and I'm not even gonna show you that tree in case I'm wrong. Anyway, something really cool about nature is lightning, and so, this is what this video is originally about. The tree was a total tangent, and so lightning is really special and really cool for a lot of reasons. Obviously, it's, you know, literally a crack of energy in the air. Like, what? That's crazy. But more importantly, it fixes nitrogen. And there are two things in this world that fix nitrogen, and those are bacteria and lightning. That's it. It's the only things that can fix nitrogen. Now, what is fixing nitrogen? It's taking nitrogen from the air, which our atmosphere is 21%. No, our air is 20-something% oxygen. It's like 70-something% nitrogen, and the other 9% is like everything else. And so our air is 70% nitrogen, but that nitrogen can't be used by cells unless it's fixed into a compound, because gaseous nitrogen is bonded together. It's two nitrogen molecules bonded together by a triple bond, a triple covalent bond, the strongest chemical bond that exists at all ever, I think. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I don't know, but I never learned about no quadruple bond in chemistry class, right? Like, that's not a thing. Triple bond, very strong, very strong. So the two nitrogen molecules, it's really hard to break them apart. So nitrogen can be fixed by lightning and bacteria. And now, what is nitrogen in, you might ask? What uses nitrogen? Amino acids. Amine, that word. Amine groups. Amine groups is a group with a nitrogen, and I think it's a nitrogen and an oxygen around the chiral carbon. I need to brush up on my organic chemistry, but basically there is nitrogen in amine groups, and there are also amide groups that also have nitrogen, but amine groups are what's important here, because amine groups are in amino acids. And so the amine part is the part with the nitrogen, and the acid part is a carboxylic acid. And so you know it's a carboxylic acid because it says COOH. It says COOH. Carbon, two oxygens, and a hydrogen on one of the oxygens. And the carbon is double bonded to the other oxygen, and that's how they all have full valence shells. And guys, this is all straight off the dope. I haven't studied organic chemistry. Well, I guess I look at organic chemistry kind of every day because, like, that's my job. But, like, I took that class a long time ago. Like, I'm impressed with myself right now. But actually, I shouldn't be that. This is really basic stuff, guys. Like, this is really basic stuff. Like, genuinely, I have learned the concept of, like, valence electrons, like, 5 times over in, like, 5 different classes. And I'm reading 2 textbooks right now that kind of revise it again. Anywho, amino acids have nitrogen in them. Amino acids make up proteins. Proteins make up you and me, for the most part. I think it's something like 80% of our dry weight is protein. I can double check that one. at some point. But it's a lot of our dry weight is all proteins. And also, obviously, everybody knows that you have to eat protein if you want to gain muscle. But the cool thing about protein is that we can actually make a lot of the amino acids, and we can make proteins in our body from the other nutrients. But you do need to have like at least the bare minimum of the essential amino acids, which is more than the RDA recommendation, but less than a gram per pound. Like the RDA recommendation is 0.8 grams per kilogram. That's the bare minimum that you need to like avoid deficiencies. But the gram per pound thing is kind of just like an arbitrary number that people picked out because it's just easy to follow. Really, it's more like 0.8 grams per pound is like around what you want. A little less, a little more ain't gonna hurt you. And that is how lightning is anabolic as fuck, because lightning fixes nitrogen. Nitrogen is in amino acids. Amino acids make up proteins. Proteins make up your muscles. Lightning is anabolic as fuck. Without lightning, we would have no muscles. No lightning, no muscles. We need lightning. So next time it storms, don't be like, oh man, it's rainy and stormy and this is lame. Be like, fuck yeah. Because that means that I can get my protein in. Because lightning fixes nitrogen. And the nitrogen cycle is kind of crazy. I learned it really well at one point, but it's a little foggy. But basically, the lightning or the bacteria fixes the nitrogen. And then the nitrogen is absorbed in the roots of plants. And so the nitrogen is fixed in the soil. So then the trees and the plants are able to use the nitrogen to make up their tissues, and then those tissues are used by animals to make up our tissues. Except since humans are omnivores, we both eat plants, which are made up of like the direct nutrients from the ground, but also animals, so animals use that nutrients to make up their bodies, and only 10% of the energy is conserved in each level of that. That's terribly inefficient, guys. 10%. That means 90% of the energy that goes through of an animal body, or that even like the energy from the sun, the amount that's conserved in a plant when it goes to animal, 10%, 90% of that is lost as heat in like digestion and for metabolic functions. And I bet in humans that's even less efficient, because it depends on how much you exercise, I guess, because you're losing a lot more energy as heat if you work out a lot, hence why people who exercise need more calories. And I guess people who sweat a lot, maybe they burn more. I don't know. I don't get affected by heat very much. I've been noticing that, because at work recently it's been really, really hot, and everyone else is like flipping fucking shit because it's so hot. They're like, oh my gosh, like I'm dying. And I think that this is an area of my life where my small veins give me an advantage. I may almost pass out every single time I stand up, but one thing I can do is sit on a 90-degree day and have a good time. And that's just amazing. And the generator keeps turning on outside my house, and it's startling every single time. I walked outside of my house to go jump on the trampoline, and the generator turned on right as I was walking out. Scared the fuck out of me, because no one else is here right now. So I thought I was getting like jumped or something. I don't know, it was scary. I also literally thought that someone had broken into my apartment last night, or maybe it was 2 nights ago, because I have a thermostat, and the thermostat screen, you can change the theme of it. So I have it set to pink, of course, because I'm trying to live like Barbie with a pink thermostat, duh, before I have a man to fucking control the thermostat, because fuck that noise. And no, genuinely, like when I live in a house, maybe someday with a husband, they're gonna have to control the thermostat, because I just run so cold. Like, I'll layer up, I don't give a fuck. Like, if I control the thermostat, it's gonna be way too warm in the house all the time, and it's gonna really run up our energy bill, and I would rather just bundle up. Anyway, how am I gonna... Oh, okay, so my thermostat, it's pink. Usually I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and I look at my thermostat and it's green. And I was like, who the fuck touched my thermostat? Because I live in an apartment alone. Like, I live in a house like with other people, but my apartment is its own. And I was like, who the and also the people who live in the house that I live like next to weren't here. Fully were not here. So I was like, who touched my fucking thermostat? Turns out it changes color at night just because it goes into like night mode or something. But I was genuinely freaking out because I was like, someone's in my apartment, someone touched my thermostat, I'm literally about to get murdered. And their subtle creepy warning was that they touched the thermostat. So I'm not even kidding you, I was in my room curled up in a ball in my bed thinking through like, what motive would someone have to break into my apartment? Like, who could it possibly be? And then I finally mustered up the balls to get out of bed and just like check if anyone was in my apartment, because my apartment's really small, so it's like genuinely there are not many places to hide. So I checked all the places that someone could possibly be hiding, and I was like, okay, there's no one in my apartment. Sick. Like, good. And then I touched the thermostat and it went back to pink immediately, and I was like, okay, so it was just in night mode. So that was fun. And I'm like extra paranoid about it because I literally had a dream that someone, like completely harmless, like it was literally like a child, broke into my apartment and just like was sitting in my bed, like, but not trying to hurt me or anything. But I remember like in the dream like being in my bed and being like, get off my bed, please, like, who are you? And then I let them out and then they just ran away. And there was also a cat. I also felt it, and I felt it. That was the creepy part of this dream, was I felt a cat jump on my bed, which is crazy because I also have a loft bed, in case you haven't seen the video of me building my loft bed. And so my bed is tall as fuck, so like it's gonna be a struggle for a cat to jump on top of that, right? So anywho, no one has broken into my apartment. Literally no one broke into my house when I lived in like a very high traffic area and never locked my door. Like, I don't know why I'm all of a sudden like paranoid about this, because like genuinely I have no reason to be worried about such an occurrence. Did I just feel a raindrop? Oh, it's raining. Oh, but that's good because that means it might lightning, and then, you know, more nitrogen and then more protein, and then yeah, it'll be great. Also, this chair literally just appeared out of nowhere in front of my stairs, and that is also kind of creepy because I don't know who put it here. So I'm like, literally, who's hanging out outside of my apartment? But I heard someone here. I think someone was like cutting the grass or something, and they probably just put it here because they didn't want the grass to be, you know, they didn't want to cut the chair with the grass. They wanted the grass out of the way of their lawnmower. So that makes a lot of sense, and I think that no one's trying to hurt me, no one's trying to break into my apartment, unless you try to, in which case I have a gun, so literally don't. Anyway, peace out, deuces. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I think this was a very educational video, and as much as I was just spitting it from the dome and like didn't entirely know what the fuck I was talking about, I think you got the point, right? Lightning is anabolic as fuck. Peace out, guys.